we end up being out for more than 6 hours is when he will actually use the outdoors. But he will, trust me, hold it as long as he can because he would rather
More
just
than
go.
6 hours? Girlfriend, what are you doing for more than 6 hours outside? Welcome to the Big Dane podcast. I'm your host, Dana Trimborn, and in this podcast, find the connection in the weird experiences that we all share. Listen to new episodes on Tuesdays wherever you get your podcasts. Hey friends, in this week's episode, I'm chatting with Samantha Jean from Philly, and we'll get into her weird things that she does in her daily routine. Learn what her and her cat do each morning and listen for a unique drink you may want to try. Welcome, Samantha.
Hi, happy to be here.
Happy to have you on. Glad you're here, and let's just take a few moments to tell the listeners a little bit about yourself, who you are, where you're from.
Okay, cool. So I am Samantha. I was born in South Jersey, but I say I'm from Philly because no one wants to say they're from Jersey. Well, I don't want to say that for everybody. Fun nuggets about myself. I speak quite a few languages, so I am fluent in Chinese, Arabic, Italian. For fun this summer, I'm actually taking an American Sign Language course because for me...
No way!
Yes. Fun for me apparently is school, so that's what I'm doing. It's going well. At the Starbucks around the corner, the woman lets me practice with her, so she understands what I'm saying, so the class is going swimmingly. What else? I am a cat mom. His birthday is in May. Our gotcha anniversary is in August, a week before my birthday, so I love that. I have a symbolically adopted orca. Her name is Suttles. I visited her out in Seattle 3 years ago. She did not surface and we did not meet, but I love her anyway.
Nice. It's a lot going on there. I had it on my list. I thought, wow, this would be really cool to learn American Sign Language. I just feel like everyone should know it. But then I thought, when it comes down to when do I have time to add this extra hobby to my schedule? Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe Sam will teach me then.
I absolutely will.
You learn it first, and then we'll talk. No, but that's really cool that you're doing that. Challenge the mind. And love that you're a cat mom. I'm a cat mom too. And let's get into some of those fun, interesting questions that you kind of marked off for me. So where do you want to go on your next vacation?
So I actually have a vacation coming up in October, and it's in Patagonia. So I'm going to be flying to Santiago because I have a friend that lives there. So she's going to show me around a little bit. Then go further down south, do some hiking, which I'm preparing for now in the gym for a 12-mile hike with like 4,000 feet of elevation. So I don't know if I'm coming home. And then after that, I found a cheap flight from the airport in Patagonia to Buenos Aires, so I'll be there for a few days. And I still haven't, these are all one-way flights, I still have not booked my flight home. So
get out.
I'm waiting for the prices to get cheaper, or I don't know, finagle some sort of something. But right now, apparently, I'm just going to tour South America.
That sounds so much fun. How long would you be going for? I guess that depends on your flight back. Or how long do you think you'll be there for, I guess?
So right now, the plan is I'll definitely be there for at least 2 weeks. I'm spending 1 week in Patagonia, and then a few days are split between Santiago and Buenos Aires. And I think the rest of the duration counts on, because as I've been adding more legs to this trip, I have to keep submitting more PTO requests. So as long as those keep
Ah,
getting accepted, I might just keep moving. I'm not sure.
yeah. Why not? Why not? Take a chance. Um, a friend of mine had told me about this site called Scott's Cheap Flights. I've never used it. You're nodding your head. That do you know this? What I'm talking about?
I do. So I have used it, and I mean, I wish I could promote it, to be honest. It's fantastic. You could get like a $300 flight to Paris if you book it at the right time.
All right. Well, enough about vacations. I could talk about vacations all night. Um, let's get into your routine and some of the unique, quirky things you do, Samantha.
Okay. Am I starting with my morning routine, waking up?
Yeah, let's start right from the beginning. What goes on? You wake up, and I know you have a cat, so he's probably meowing or something's going on.
He most certainly is meowing. I don't know how he does this. I feel like he just has a sixth sense. But even when my door is shut, he knows when I've woke up. Even if I haven't moved, haven't made a sound, haven't said anything, haven't touched, he knows when my eyes are open and I'm like ready to start the day. So if you think you can have a few minutes to yourself, no. Um, so he'll normally sing his cat songs for a couple minutes, and I'll open the door. And one of the first things that we do is a kitty helicopter. So I pick him up.
Oh, fascinating.
He he is a very tolerant creature, and I know most cats don't want you to pet their stomach or do whatever, but he'll let you flip him over. I hold him in my arms straight out and just fly him around the apartment. Um, so I fly him to the pantry where his food is, but
Oh, so let me ask you this. How did you start doing that? Like, I mean, because if you brought him home, and I don't know how long you've had your cat now when you adopted him, but I can't imagine that was like the first thing that went on when he was home. So how did that come into, the routine?
well, okay, so I got him as a kitten. He's coming on 2 years old, and when I first got him,
Oh,
he's a sweet boy. He's sitting right next to me during this, actually. Um, he, I really wanted one of those cats that perch on your shoulder, like you could walk around and they just sit with you. So as a kitten, I would keep putting him on my shoulder, and he'd be like, absolutely not, and would roll down into the crease of my arm. And I was like, well, I
oh.
guess if that, and I would hold him like a baby and kind of rock him like a baby, and then I would just sort of walk around like that. And then, like human parents do that helicopter sound when feeding their child, I would just make helicopter sounds and walk him around the apartment. It came about very naturally, as odd as that
And what kind
sounds.
of sounds does what kind of sounds go on when you're doing the helicopter?
Are you gonna make me make helicopter sounds? It's like it's like a vacuum but flying, like vroom, you know what I mean? Like that was not good at all. That's not what
I
a heli-
can't even recreate because it's not right. I would probably be describing like the sound of a clock, like a, but like very loud and
I mean, I just made the sound of a broken fan, so
Well, yeah, no, that's an interesting way how that happened. So, like, after, like, I guess, is there a day where do you forget at all? Like, does he say, like, what are you doing?
oh, he always says, "What are
Mom,
you
what are you
doing?"
doing?
Um,
Where's my helicopter? Helicopter ride.
he has a very expressive face for a cat. Like when he's happy, you know when he's mad. Um, but there will be, if I ever forget, he'll just kind of look at me and like meow weird and be like, this isn't what we do. And then I'll walk to the pantry and he won't come to the pantry. And every other cat on this planet will follow you anywhere that they know the food is. But he's now such a little prince that I have to carry him there, or he's like, this isn't part of the food routine. What are we doing?
No.
Which
He knows.
he certainly does. And I had gone away for 2 weeks, and he had stayed with one of his aunties, and she had said, oh, like, he's a little weird in the morning. Like, he doesn't come to the food dish. And I was like, carry him for maybe a second. And then I didn't tell her to do the kitty copter because I felt like that was very extra, but she would lift him, and that worked.
Yes, please do the kitty copter at about 7 a.m. and we'll be good to go. No, that I love that because my cat, I'll say, I don't know why. Like, I'm thinking maybe she had like an experience where she didn't like being picked up, like as a kitten maybe, or when she was real little. Because I'll pick her up and she doesn't. She's like, she's like she has like a funny meow. I still love her though, but I don't know. Like, I'll try to like hold her, very like comfortably, and then give her like head scratchies as I'm holding her. Like, there's a lot going on, right? And then she's just not having it. She's like, just put me down. After you do the kitty copter, like, what goes on after that during the day? Because I know your work is hybrid of some sort, right? So I guess, tell me about that, or like when you're still at home, like anything else during the day or maybe later in the day.
So I guess after that, normally I'll just get dressed, get ready, depending on whether there's Zoom meetings, do the hair. I guess I'll normally, when I'm home, when I'm working from home, I like to go for lunch walks, and I typically bring my cat with me, so that's fun.
Oh. And what, like, how do you take your cat out? Is it a leash? Do you put them in a stroller? A kitty stroller.
So
I've seen that. I'm sure you have too.
It's quite funny you say that because I just texted a friend and it was a screenshot from Amazon and I was like, is it too much? Is it too extra? Do I get the cat stroller? And she was like, not while he still walks, like, because he walks on a leash right now.
Okay.
And I have like a cat backpack that he can kind of climb up and hop in if he doesn't want to walk anymore.
Oh, cool.
So there will be a kitty stroller in the future, but right now.
Yeah. And how did that kind of begin? Was that kind of something you knew you wanted to incorporate when you got him, when he was a kitten, and you thought, like, I want to take my cat outside and go for walks and be fun? And you just, like, adapt it, like, all right, we're just going to adapt this cat into this kind of cat, kind of mold them, right, into the best cat that it could be.
So I grew up with dogs and was raised with dogs, and we were not a cat family, so I didn't really know anything about cats, but I had always wanted one.
Interesting.
Yes. So raising him, I thought it was normal to raise him the way you would raise a dog. So like getting him his harness and leash and trying to get him to learn to sit and stay and all of this stuff. I thought that was normal behavior for a cat parent, and apparently that's beyond the scope, but it really stems from him now just being a bit of a cat dog because I've only ever known how to raise a dog.
Okay, let's take a quick break. For a limited time only, you'll have free access to my coffee page. No, not actual coffee. This is a place for all exclusive content that won't be on my Instagram or Facebook accounts. Check out sneak peeks, behind the scenes, extra audio clips, and much more. Just have a tap on my link tree, look out for that coffee cup icon, and boom, you'll be on your way. Does he know how? Does he pee and go to the bathroom outside?
For a while he wouldn't, and that would stress me out because I'd have him out for hours, but now he will, yes.
Really? What about the litter box?
So he does the litter box too. And normally if we're out, if we end up being out for more than 6 hours is when he will actually use the outdoors. But he will, trust me, hold it as long as he can because he would rather
more
just
than
go
6 hours, girlfriend. What are you doing for more than 6 hours outside?
I take him for little hikes.
Oh, that's a long hike.
Oh, no fear. He climbs and
Even for a human, 6 hours.
But you know, you
I'm toast.
You walk around, you picnic, you
Okay.
sit and hang.
There's food involved.
Always.
Maybe there's wine involved.
There is more often than not wine involved in these hikes.
Okay, that's fair. I guess if you're trying to exercise, maybe you don't do the wine quite yet, but maybe later, after your hike, you want to treat yourself.
Well, especially if you walked to a view, like who doesn't want to cheers, I don't know, a mountaintop with a nice glass?
Yeah, that's a good idea. I like that. Very cool. Yeah, I don't know what I'm saying, but my cat does not go outside. I don't know if she was ever outside. I got her from a kitty cafe in Devon. And she was around other cats, but at least not to my knowledge. I mean, I don't really know, but she's a Jersey cat. Oh my God. Yeah, they got her from Jersey, brought her back here, and then I went over to Devon and I got her in 2018. But yeah, so very, very different lives here for the cats. But I love that. I think that's awesome that you do that with your cat. How about anything in the evening, or with friends, or after hours with work, right? You kind of logged off, or maybe you're coming home from work, want to pop open maybe some wine.
I mean, I'm always open to some wine after work. I guess in the evenings it's always something different. Like I have the class one night, and then there's one night that's dedicated to me and my best friend always have. We call it Noodle Wednesday because we call each other Noodle. And I can't actually remember how that started, but and we have recently brought her fiance into it. Like sometimes he'd feel a little left out, so we told him he could also be a noodle, and we gave him bucatini. Like that's what he is as a pasta. And he feels included but also confused, so that's good.
So on the Noodle Wednesday, is there any kind of maybe beverages involved? Like, what are we cheersing to for this?
So there is. It's not a cocktail, but it's not a cocktail. And this is something that she actually introduced me to. So it's any sort of white wine, so like a Chardonnay or a Pinot Grigio. And we're heathen, so we put ice in our wine, but we also like to add green olive juice. Quite a lot of green olive juice, actually. It takes a particular person to like it, but we think it's delicious. We've had others try it, and they think we've lost our minds, but
I'm intrigued because this is what I'll say. As I've gotten older, I told myself I need to like olives. And so in doing so, I did in fact train my taste buds. And so now if I am out to dinner, I think, you know what? I will have a martini because I like olives now. So now that I like them and that taste, and now not all the time I want a salty drink, right? But this is interesting because you kind of have like a sweet salty in your drink, but just in a different format.
Yes.
Is there a certain brand of olives that's key to get, would you say?
Um, no, we've been a little all over the place. The last
Okay.
we now, because we do this so often and enjoy it so much, we get like the big jars from BJ's or like Costco.
Oh,
And that jar maybe lasts 2 different Noodle Wednesdays. And I don't know if you've seen the size of those jars, but it's quite ridiculous that that does not last more than 2 events.
and and was it you that kind of just randomly came up with this because you thought, you know what, I want the sweet, but I need the salty. How do I combine this into a drink without like munching on a salty snack?
It was definitely the noodle. In the first time that I went to try it, I was very skeptical. I was like, I think that what you're doing is atrocious. I don't know why you're putting that juice in your wine. But I will always try. I mean, I'm a vegetarian, but like I'll mostly try everything at least once. And tried it, and it was really good.
Who knew? Now I'm wondering like if there's any other concoctions that could be made. Because sometimes, you know, like I was saying, like I don't want to drink salt. Like martinis can be very salty. Like I like it like extra dirty. Like I want to taste it. Like, otherwise, I'm like, this is too much vodka. Too much vodka at once. So I'll have to think, and I have to try this now. I'm very curious how this would turn out.
I have an idea.
Oh,
I will make it
I'm
for
ready
you
for it.
on a
Ooh,
kitty play
yes.
date.
So,
Uh-oh.
short story. I don't know if a kiddie play date really would exist, but what it could look like would be me coming with you on a little hike or a walk with your cat without my cat. Because my cat and Matt's cat they like, it's a love-hate relationship. So my cat actually gets, interestingly, like stress and anxiety from it. This is a story for another day, but yeah, so I don't think she would do, like if your cat came over here, I don't know what would go on. But your cat's a boy, so maybe that would be interesting to see because you got 2 female cats over here, so I don't know.
I think hike and wine it
know.
is.
Yeah. Yes. Love it. Okay. Well, thank you so much for joining me on this episode. Was great to get to know you about who you are, that you came from New Jersey. And just love this, you know, the kitty copter and the hiking and the wine and olives. Who knew? Who knew this went on? People, this is what goes on in other people's lives. Yeah. Think you're normal? You're not. You're not.
Well,
No, I don't like to also use the word like normal because what is normal? Am I right? So everyone's weird at the end of the day. So I hope you found connection here in this episode and kind of resonated a bit with Samantha Jean. So is there a place where people can find you if they want to get in touch with you over social media?
So the only social media I have is Instagram, but I would love it for people to connect with me. That would be great.
Wonderful.
My handle is s.j.291.
Got it. And I'll put this in the show notes as well, and my social posts for this episode. So we'll get you covered in all different ways. Right. Well, thanks again, and we'll catch everyone next week. Bye.
Bye. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. All right, my friends. Thanks for listening, and be sure to listen to new episodes on your preferred platform. Stay up to date with my podcast by going to my Instagram or Facebook accounts at the Big Dane Podcast. Interested in being a guest? Just go to my link tree, tap on Be a Guest, and fill out the form. All right, catch you next week.